Hey, this is Sonic Do Mario showing you how to do a speedrun on the level The Covenant in Halo 3 on Legendary. So as soon as you start the level, switch out of your Spartan Laser to the Battle Rifle and just spam it. Try to headshot as many grunts as you can. Then come around to the left, switch back to the Spartan Laser, and then quickly take out these two gun turrets. You can knock them both out in one shot. Now your next concern up ahead, there's going to be two things you're going to want to hone in on. One is that anti-air wraith. The other is a brute that is carrying a fuel rod gun. It's not that brute, but since he decided to show himself, I'm just spamming headshots on him. I eventually kill him. So there's the brute with the fuel rod gun. What I like to do here is just put a Spartan laser blast into him. Sometimes it kills him in one hit, other times it won't. We also have the anti-air wraith that is exposed there. Easy shot right there. I'm able to destroy it in one hit. If you don't destroy that fuel rod gun in one hit with a Spartan laser, just finish it off with a couple more headshots with the battle rifle since it still does significant damage to it. Now at this point we're just clearing out everything that's at the top of this hill. There is a brute throw up a bubble shield, so I kind of use that to my ear advantage. You just easily run in, melee him a couple times. It's usually the safest way to take out a brute that's in a bubble shield. So here I'm just trying to take out the last remaining enemies. Now, I threw out that deployable cover since we're not going to need it. Now I'm also just looking for the fuel rod gun, because we're going to need that for the next segment. Not for ourselves, but our passenger marine in the Warthog is going to make very good use of it. Now, if any of your marines at the beginning of the level died, not only will you get a Warthog, you will get replacements for those marines that were killed. So here, wait for somebody to get in the passenger seat, yank him out, give him the fuel rod gun, and then I went a little galaxy brain here. I tried to see if I can give my Spartan laser to a marine since it's still out of ammo, but they all had assault rifle, so I couldn't switch out since I had an assault rifle. Now up ahead, there's some Banshees. This is a pretty tough part. You don't want to get hit. I do get hit with a Banshee bomb. Somehow that does not tip the Warthog over. Does minimal damage, and I'm able to continue. And it's not just the Banshees you have to worry about. There's a couple of ghosts, a turret. We take out one of the ghosts, and you can see that the marine with the fuel rod gun is able to destroy everything up on that little ledge. So yeah, I try to give the Spartan laser to the marine that's going to be in the passenger seat, or the back seat on the Mongoose, since it's still had ammo in it. Remember, when a marine carries a weapon, he'll have unlimited ammo for it, so that's what I was trying to get at. So up ahead, there's going to be a grunt and a ghost. Usually you can speed things up, just run over that first grunt, but sometimes he'll get out of the way. The Marines just took out that ghost, and now I'm just trying to get into that, take out that grunt before he gets into that ghost. Otherwise he'll get in and start shooting at you. You also want to be aware of the Wraith. There's another ghost right here, and there's a turret and the final ghost right here. Again, let your fuel rod Marine just destroy everything here. The Wraith can attack you from below there, so if you stay in one spot, you could likely get hit and killed. Sometimes the Wraith is on the other side of that hill, so you have to get up a little bit closer to him. Let your gunner and your passenger marine take care of the Wraith. And then I like to retreat, just drive around that rock in a circle, get your shields back, and that's what I do here a couple times. So, you can see by the score we ended up killing a brute in the Wraith. I believe we took out the gunner. So I believe once you kill somebody in the Wraith, you don't have to destroy the Wraith. That's when the two Prowlers will come out and start attacking. They're arguably more dangerous than the Wraith here. I get pummeled and I miraculously do not die. I have a lot of near deaths in this particular speed run. So I like to just retreat back up there because the Prowlers won't really follow you. You can see I'm taking a bit of damage again, and my Marines are able to take out both Prowlers right there, and that leaves just the Wraith. And since the gunner has been killed, we can just easily go up to the Wraith and they can finish it off. Now over here, there's two things you're going to want to have your Marines kill. One of them is that gun turret. The other one is a Jackal that is carrying the carbine, since you don't want them shooting at you from a distance. And again, I take a lot of damage here. Miraculously, I am not killed. And now for our next section. So the Pelican's going to drop off a couple of weapons here. That's going to be important in a second, especially since I do not have a battle rifle. Just go up here, and again, you don't even have to drive into the tunnel, just stay outside, and your gunner and Marine will just obliterate everything that's in that tunnel. So there's a turret, a couple of brutes back there. I had to back up a little bit because again my shields went down all the way. So at this point, since I had to give up my battle rifle earlier, you can go back here and get another battle rifle. I took the shotgun by mistake. Now before we go into the tower, we're just going to head up into
Yes, sir, Chief. Appreciate it, Chief.
Yes, there, I just gave him my Spartan laser since I still had it. I'm not sure what use he's going to have for it at this point. You're going to go up to this higher slope and get a beam rifle here. There's 2 beam rifles. We're going to want one for entering this tower and one for when we exit the tower. So at this point, the Marines get in the Warthog and drive off. I don't know where they're going here. So there's nothing in here. There is a cloaking device to the left of that door outside the crate. You're going to want to save that for later. And so when we get in here, there is a brute. You're going to want to snipe him out with the beam rifle, which is what I do here. That way he's not shooting at you with that brute shot when you're trying to get up onto that higher ledge. Now here, go around to the left. There's going to be 2 carbine jackals up in the back on that higher ledge. I was able to get quick headshots on both of them. Now we can do a skip here. Just jump onto these 2 crates and then just do a crouch jump. We're going to pick up the power drainer in a minute, headshotting all the grunts that are around the area. So we pick up the power drainer, we just got to let this plasma grenade blow up. And we're going to ditch our battle rifle for a fully loaded carbine here. We're going to need a weapon that can do some headshots for the next section, and we'll need plenty of ammo for it. So this is actually my second upload of a speedrun for this video, and the reason why I'm doing a replacement video is for this section specifically. And I'll explain in a minute. So here, you want to focus in on the Brute Chieftain carrying the gravity hammer. He stepped aside, so I just took out one of his buddies instead, and I was able to headshot him before he activated his invincibility, and that's key. So that power drain we picked up, you can just throw it there, because there'll be a couple of brutes waiting for you, and that power drain will strip them of their shields. So that one, it didn't take his shields out, I think. I think it did enough damage to his shield, because you can see the static around the shields. So at this point, this should be the only brute left. I'm able to avoid his brute shot somehow. And at this point, he's got no shields. I'm just going to go in and finish it and melee him. So once everybody's dead, go up to that dead brute chieftain, pick up his invincibility, and pick up his gravity hammer. You can ditch your beam rifle for it. And then press the switch to deactivate the barrier.
Good work, Chief.
So from here, we can just run back here. And we're just going to go back down to the lower level.
Get back outside,
so,
in
earlier runs, I wouldn't use that invincibility. I would pick up the cloaking beforehand, but you do not need the cloaking until after you leave this tower. And we can put the invincibility to very good use in this next section, because there is a large group of Covenant that's blocking the exit. With that invincibility and this gravity hammer, we can kill them very quickly and not risk our health here. So here, yeah, just go up, take the brute out, and just gravity hammer. You just got a Killionaire and almost missed another set of Killionaires. So, it doesn't matter if you take a couple seconds there, because you need your invincibility to run out. If that invincibility is still in effect, it won't let you pick up that cloaking. So be sure to get that cloaking that's off to the right when you leave the tower. Now before we head back to the start of the level, we're going to go back up here. We're going to go get that other beam rifle out of this crate, and we're going to need it for the upcoming section. We need a full ammo beam rifle. So now you can get in either the Warthog or the Mongoose, and then just drive back to the start of the level. So since we have a little bit of downtime here, driving back to the beginning of the level, so I wanted to go over that section in the beginning with the Banshee. With the Banshees, that's usually one of the toughest parts of the level, hoping that either they don't shoot the Banshee bomb at you or they shoot and miss. Normally, if it hits you, very bad things will happen. It will significantly damage you and your Marines. It'll tip the Warthog over, and with the Banshees and Ghosts and the turret around, getting everyone back into that Warthog gets very hard, and you're very likely to die at that point. So we were very fortunate that not only did the Banshee bomb do minimal damage, we were able to stay upright after that. And also, if your Marine with the fuel rod gun dies before you get into that first tower when it's trying to destroy all the vehicles, again, you'll have to restart because he is vital. So here we just get out of the Warthog, and we're just going to get into the Hornet here and bolt off to the next tower. So there's a lot of stuff you have to avoid here. There's Phantoms, Wraiths, Banshees. What you want to do is just glide along the water. You don't really have to give yourself any elevation increase at this point. What I like to do is strafe run. At this point, the Banshees will normally start attacking you, and usually you can avoid a lot of their gunfire by strafe running and then just hugging the wall of that cliff. So by this point, once you get out to here, the Banshees will stop attacking you. If you're unlucky enough, they can do a lot of damage to you. I have been killed once, but it's very uncommon. You do get checkpoints there. So here, just keep going, keep increasing your elevation. And there's a lot of stuff here. You don't want to shoot anything. You don't want to draw their attention. Up here is a safe space that you can drop your Hornet into. There's nothing up here that's going to shoot at you. Get to the other side of this structure. Hug the left wall. I believe if the brutes don't see you, if you're not in their line of sight, you'll get a checkpoint right here, which is good. Because when you go into this tunnel here on the left, there is an elevated risk that you die, because there sometimes will be 1 or 2 brutes that come out. We were fortunate to only get 2 brutes. The rest of the brutes usually run down the other path. Now here's another tricky section. You're going to want to have to switch to your frag grenades. I'm not sure how this is done. I just bounced a couple frag grenades off the ground, and I'm able to kill 7 of the drones. I'm just standing back here letting my shields recover. I'm just going to throw my 2 plasma grenades in the back. You don't have to kill all of them. Once enough of them are killed, the rest of them retreat. We need to get the drones out of your way, and unfortunately for us, the hunter just caught up to us. So you can gravity hammer off that slope onto the higher ledge and do a big skip and avoid a huge section of brutes. Fortunately, that hunter did not attack us, and without the drones in the area, we can easily get past this area. So this is the section, one of the 2 sections that we're going to need the beam rifle. When we get to the top, there's going to be a brute chieftain carrying a plasma turret, and then a couple of invisible brutes. So your first priority is to snipe out that brute chieftain. And once you strip his shield, you want to aim for his head, because if you don't aim for his head, even with the shield's gone, you're not really going to do too much damage. You're going to waste a lot of beam rifle ammo. He decided to retreat, so I'm just sniping out the invisible brutes. They're pretty weak. And there, I'm able to pop all his shields and his head off, so now he's dead. So at this point, I believe there's 1 or 2, I believe just 1 invisible brute left. I'm going to try to save some beam rifle ammo and then just go up to him and gravity hammer him, because he's the only thing that's alive. Now, I switch out the the gravity hammer for the double plasma rifles. You don't have to do that. I realize that this section is definitely faster with the gravity hammer if you have enough energy for it. Because you can just run through, melee all the blood to death with it. I don't know, I just instinctively switched over to the plasma rifles to take the flood out. Just run in a straight line, get back down to the lift. If there's some of the flood here are armed, so you just want to keep an eye out for that. Now sometimes on the way down here you get a checkpoint, which is good, because this next section's a little bit risky. I'm not sure what triggers the checkpoint, which we get it right there. Maybe you have to kill enough blood in that previous room. Get off the elevator, and fortunately the hunters are to the right. We can run on the left here. Try to get a clean path to the door, and when you get to the door, activate your cloaking that you picked up earlier in the level, and we can avoid not only the flood, but these large groups of brutes here. I threw 1 plasma grenade at them to try to kill them and make them scatter. And fortunately, we're able to get through there before our cloaking wears out. You want to try to hold off activating that cloaking for as long as you possibly can. That way you can get through that whole area undetected. There is a chance you die, which fortunately we got that checkpoint at the lift if anything happens. If not, the checkpoint is right after, the previous checkpoint is right after you activate that switch to deactivate the tower. So get in the Scorpion when it becomes available. If you want to save some time, just get right in and take off with it. You don't have to wait for Marines to get into it. They'll just get into the Mongoose and the Gauss Warthog behind you. So around this first corner, there's going to be a Brute and a Prowler. So the Brute's the first thing that's in our sight. Let's kill him here. There's going to be a Prowler, and believe it or not, this is not the most dangerous thing in this section. We're just going to peek around the corner here. There is a Brute that carries a fuel rod gun, and I'm able to spot him and kill him before he can get some shots off. Because if he gets some shots off, then bad things can happen if more than a couple of them connect with your Scorpion. There's one other Brute after that. I'm just going to get out of the Scorpion and pick up a fuel rod gun, and then continue on to the next section. Now at this point, the Marines have caught up with us, and you'll see some yellow dots on the radar in a second. There's the Warthog right there. So in the next section, there's going to be a turret, some ghosts, a tower. Take the Brute out in the tower first, and then go for the turret in the back, and then just wait for the ghost to come around the corner. You can see the Warthog got a little ahead of ourselves here. They actually get stuck on the cliff and fall off, so they're not much of help afterwards. So there is a Brute up on that tower with a fuel rod gun. You want to shoot at the Brute and kill it. Otherwise, he'll be shooting at you with that fuel rod gun, and nothing good will come out of that. So in this next section, there's 2 Prowlers. Here's the first Prowler that gets destroyed. There's going to be another Prowler on the bottom here. There's also that turret we just destroyed. There's another turret on the lower level. And it looks like there we just destroyed the Prowler just now. So we're not out of the woods just yet. I'm just waiting for the... sometimes there's 2 ghosts that come up, and the first ghost is right there. I think the second ghost gets by us and fights with the Marines, so we don't have to worry about it. There's the other turret that I was alluding to. So once you have a clear path, head into the cave. And you're going to want to get out of the Scorpion for a second because there's a crate in here with some fuel rod guns. So you can pick them up for some much needed fuel rod ammo. We're going to be carrying this weapon for the rest of the level. Now in the next segment, there's going to be another tower with a brood on it and a gun turret. I'm just taking out the turret since it's the first thing in our sight. And then, yeah, we just took out the two broods that were in that tower. So up ahead is the Wraith. Usually he won't hit you or get close to hitting you, so just stand back and keep shooting at it until it's destroyed. And then there's that one final brood. And from here, the coast is clear, so just take the Scorpion up to the next section and wait for the Hornets to drop off. And then we're going to fight the two Scarabs in what is probably one of my favorite battles in this game. Pretty epic music, by the way. So when you get into the Hornet, your first priority isn't going to be the Scarabs. I think the Banshees are the bigger threat. There's going to be 4 Banshees that are flying around. Here are the first 2 Banshees that come in, so I'm just going to go up there and destroy us, because they can attack and shoot at you while you're taking out the Scarabs, and they will take your health out very quickly. So it's a lot less riskier to just destroy them rather than go after the Scarab and let them attack you. So there's the first Banshee. The second Banshee is right here. And the third Banshee, we're just going to look up and it's going to be in the background flying in. So I'm going to go over and take out that Banshee. And that is the third of the 4th Banshees that we're going to destroy. And after that, the 4th Banshee is flying around with the other Hornets and Pelicans. So there it is right there. So I just go in and finish it off. Once the 4 Banshees are destroyed, we're going to focus on the Scarabs. Now you only need to do enough damage to one of the legs to temporarily disable the Scarab. I thought you had to disable damage multiple legs. There's also some ghosts on the ground, by the way. I'm just taking out the run in that ghost because if you fly too low, the ghost can also shoot at you. So that's one less distraction when you're attacking the Scarabs. There's a lot of stuff you have to dodge here, a lot of multitasking. You have to dodge both the fire from the Scarabs, Banshees, ghosts if you don't destroy them. There's brutes on the Scarabs with fuel rod guns. You can see I'm just focused in on one leg. We've done enough damage to it now that it brings it down. So we're just going to fly to the back here, attack that power source, I guess that powerway. Make sure you're on the same elevation as that powerway so your missiles will hit it. And then once that's destroyed, the actual, I guess, power source of the Scarab gets exposed, and then shoot at it before the Scarab gets back up. Otherwise, you have to do enough damage to another leg. It just costs a lot more time. So once you get the first Scarab down, fly over here to the second Scarab, and we're able to bring this one down pretty quickly. It was preoccupied shooting at other stuff. And here I take quite a bit of damage, not just from the Scarab, but some ghosts. Fortunately, I do not get killed again. That's a huge setback if you get killed here a lot of time. Fortunately, I do have a clean shot into the back of the Scarab, so I'm able to destroy that quickly. And at this point, you don't have to destroy the Prowlers or the Ghosts. I just do that to kill off some time while we're waiting for the Phantom to arrive with the Arbiter.
Well done.
And I believe all of this gets destroyed after the Scarabs are destroyed anyway. So here's the Phantom. It's going to drop off the Arbiter for us, and at this point, it's just a waiting game. And one thing you want to be aware of, when you get out of the Hornet, give yourself some clearance because the Master Chief jumps out of the Hornet to the left. So if you land and jump out the wrong way, you could fall off the ledge and either kill yourself or cost yourself some time. One little trick to save some time here is just get in the Hornet once the bridge is activated, fly across the bridge, and then head into the building. Save quite a bit of time that way. So in here, we're going to get one of those Cortana slowdowns, which is probably the most annoying part about speedrunning game where you can't skip these things. So while we're waiting here, so the part time here is 20 minutes. It's a very hard part time to hit on Legendary. If you can get like a time from 25 to 35 minutes, that's a very good time. If you're going for that devastating achievement, which I'm hoping this video can help you out with. So here's where you want the beam rifle. I just stay back. You don't want to go charging in because there's 2 grunts on the opposite side, and I end up getting attacked by the Covenant up front, so I have to back up. There's 2 grunts, and they just stay there, so they're very easy to headshot, and they carry fuel rod guns, and they will fire them continuously, and if one of those shots connects with you, you're dead, so just get them out of the way first. That's why you want to carry that beam rifle with you to the end. And you want to have at least 20% in that beam rifle, which would be the equivalent of 4 shots. There are 4 fuel rod wielded grunts that you're going to want to kill with the beam rifle. Once those 2 grunts are dead, we're just going to spam, and over here is a grunt. And we're fortunate that he didn't drop a plasma grenade. That's the thing that you're most at risk of dying at now, is a stray grenade in this section. Just spam the fuel rod gun and kill everything in here. There is one brute left. I'm trying to not get hit by his brute shot. I have to back up, reload, let my shields come up. So here there's going to be a couple of more fuel rod grunts. These coming from that room. I'm able to kill one of them right there, and then there's a second one. So before we go in, just pick up the fuel rod grunts that are laying on the ground. We're going to need to max out our ammo here. There's another fuel rod gun here. So we're going to come back for its ammo later on. So now we're in the next segment. This is probably the most dangerous section of this bridge just because there's so many brutes. Again, when I get about halfway to the bridge, there are going to be more fuel rod carrying grunts on the other side. And that's where the beam rifle will help us out once again. If you don't have a beam rifle, there is a carbine in this section. Once you kill one of the brutes, you can use the carbine to take the grunts out at long range. So the brutes just threw up a bubble shield. I'm just spamming the fuel rod gun, and to help out, I'm just going to go back into this previous room and pick up that fuel rod gun for additional ammo. So that bubble shield is gone, so we can continue. And I'm just trying to spam the fuel rod gun on these brutes. I picked up a bubble shield, which I just used that at the very end. I'm waiting for the grunts to appear, and like the last section, they just stay stationary. It's very easy to headshot them. I get one there, and I get the other one there. Fortunately, they were shooting at the flood and not me, so I had a clear headshot on both of them. If you still have any beam rifle ammo left after that, I saw a jetpack brute up there, but he flew away. I just normally use the remaining beam rifle ammo, so there's one brute that I sniped out. I used the remaining beam rifle ammo to snipe the brutes out. So at this point, there is a brute chieftain that can go invincible. He's invincible right now. He also carries a gravity hammer. I'm able to kill him with the fuel rod gun once his invincibility runs out. Now I should have picked up his gravity hammer right here. I think he ends up, that dead body of his ends up getting infected, and maybe that's why the fuel rod, the gravity hammer despawns. And that totally threw off my plans for the last part of this level. I'm trying to see if I can find the gravity hammer anywhere. I'm not having any luck, obviously. So at this point, I have to improvise. You want the fuel rod gun and the gravity hammer. If not, I found this brute shot on the ground, and it's probably the next best thing you can find in this section anyway. Go around here, pick up the fuel rod ammo. You're going to want as much ammo as you can for the last section. Again, since I don't have the gravity hammer, it's going to be a little bit trickier, but still not too bad. I think the worst of the level is behind us. And if you ask me, I think the hardest parts of the speedrun are the beginning, where you have to avoid the Banshee bombs once you get in the Warthog, because that just is very irritating. And then I think the second tower, when you have to clear out the drones and gravity hammer jump up to the second level. And not only that, but getting into the second tower as well, when you have to fly into that safe spot with the Hornet and then avoid the brutes as they're coming out of that tower. So here, again, the Arbiter's a huge help here. He can easily destroy these guys with his sword. But since we don't have the gravity hammer, and this is where I would use the gravity hammer, I'm just rotting everyone to death. I end up losing my shields, and fortunately I don't die, so I just back up a little bit, let my shields come back. So here, again, usually I don't use all my fuel rod gun ammo this early, but since we have plenty of it, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So in the next room, we're going to get another group of flood that comes through. There is a carrier form here. I decide not to bother with them because they'll just blow up anyway when I walk by him. So in this next segment, again, this one's not too bad. I mean, you do have the Sentinels helping you out. They'll just distract the flood for you. The Arbiter will come in and help out too. The only thing you really have to worry about, there is a flood here, a combat flood that carries the sword around, so you don't want to get entangled up in that. Just keep your distance from them. And here I'm starting to use the brute shot a little bit. And I guess one of the things about the brute shot is the blade, and it's one of the strongest melee weapons in the game. You just saw it cut right through that combat flood when it came up. So at this point I'm just running low on ammo on both. Once you get past this section though, you don't really need the ammo anymore, but and we still have plenty of grenades. So here come the next section of enemies, and there's the combat one that carries the sword. So I tried to melee him, it didn't really work out well, and now I'm out of brute shot ammo. And I believe I'm out of fuel. Nope, I have one shot left with the fuel rod. So I blow up one of the carrier forms with it. Instead of trying to walk up to him, I just throw a grenade to instantly blow him up. So we're out of ammo at this point, but there's nothing you really have to shoot at anymore. At this point, we're pretty much in the clear. We just got to get past this. Again, slow down with Cortana. The remaining flood will come from the other end of this, other side of this bridge, and the Sentinels and the Arbiter will help distract them from you. I'm just picking up plasma pistols just in case I need to shoot at anything, which shouldn't be a problem at this point. Yeah, there's a carrier flood there. We're just going to run by him. I throw down this bubble shield. It just gives us a layer of protection against the flood because they'd have to run by that bubble shield to attack us. And here we're just going to jump into this hole and end the level, which you don't really have to jump in, just fall in. That probably ends up costing a second or two. So that's the end of the level. Again, there's a couple of showstoppers here. It's not too bad of a level to speedrun. We see we got 25:11, which is... We just missed my best time, which is like 25:03 here. Again, the part time is 20 minutes, which is a pretty hard part time to hit under Legendary. But again, if you only go 5 to 10 minutes, even 15 minutes over the part time here, that's not too bad of a time. Even 35 minutes is a pretty decent time. The part times in Halo 3 add up to 2 hours 40 seconds. So if you're going for that 3-hour achievement, if you go by the part times, again, that's 240, so it gives you 20 minutes to spare. And this level and the Arc are the two levels where you're least likely to hit the part times and go a little bit over. But you can easily make that up in the other levels. And even here, going over 5 minutes over the part time is pretty good. So I hope this video is of help, and good luck.